Empowered Together would like to advise that the following content includes discussion of sexual assault and abuse. If you're affected by the content of this video, please stop watching and contact the most appropriate service for you that are listed below.
Not really appropriate for a 14-year-old Nikki Webster to be singing about. Yeah, especially you don't want to get a dick pic while you're at work. You always need to ask permission.
So,
I didn't expect this one. Hi, I'm Joanna. I'm a facilitator at Empowered Together.
and I'm Claudia, another facilitator in Empowered Together. Before we get started, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land we meet on today, the Wurundjeri people. We wish to pay our respects to their elders, both past, present and emerging. We also want to let you know that this video contains content of sexual assault and some viewers may find this disturbing.
So like Claudia said, today we're talking about sex. Sex may be something that you are interested in doing, it may be something that you're not interested in right now, or it may be something that you're not interested in doing at all. All of that doesn't matter. Everything here that we discuss today will be relevant. So sex is an umbrella term. This means it can mean a lot of different things to different people.
What we're going to be doing today is pulling some terms out of our mug here. They're sexual terms, and we're going to be telling you a bit about what they are and a bit about why they relate to consent. So, you want to start?
First one, kissing. So kissing is definitely a sexual term, but sometimes it might not be sexual. So if you're kissing a relative, if you're kissing like someone that you're friends with on the cheek, that's not necessarily sexual, but there are definitely times when it is sexual. So it's all very dependent on the context and how you feel about the other person.
Our next term is cunnilingus, which refers to giving oral to somebody with a vulva. And this is definitely related to the topic of consent because this is a sexual act, it's very intimate, it's very personal, and if you don't have consent before you perform cunnilingus on somebody else, then you're committing a sexual assault.
Heavy petting, sexual touching. This is similar to kissing. In different situations, touching is definitely not sexual, but when you're with someone who you want to have sex with or you just really like, when you're touching them, that is definitely sexual, and it's something you definitely need to ask consent for, especially if it's like different body parts. Maybe touching someone on the arm in like a general context is something you don't need to ask consent for, but as things progress, and maybe you're kissing as well, touching different areas of somebody's body is definitely something you need to ask for permission.
So I have rainbow kisses, which is, my understanding is this is performing oral sex on someone with a vulva who's also menstruating at the same time. Obviously this relates to consent. If you're performing oral sex on somebody, you need to have their consent before you do anything. Is there another term for this?
Yeah, I thought this was called strawberry kisses. let's look this up.
Like Nikki Webster's strawberry.
Yeah, okay, let's check what this means. Let's make sure we're using the right term. Strawberry kiss is also, the definition is like the same as rainbow kiss.
Oh,
so
wow. Strawberry
kisses are menstrually enhanced cunnilingus. Not really appropriate for a 14-year-old Nikki Webster to be singing about.
Oh, dear. Okay.
Let's do another one.
Move on.
Scissoring or tribbing. So this is definitely a sexual term. This is when two people with vulvas and the vulvas like rub up against one another. So this is definitely a sexual term, something you definitely have to ask consent for. And this is definitely something that not maybe everyone you're engaging with is interested in. Maybe they want to do a different sexual act. Maybe this is not really up their alley, but you definitely need to ask and see if they want to scissor with you. I don't know why that was what came to my head.
Do you want to scissor with me?
Got to be specific in your consent. Asking for consent.
Yes, you do. You do need to be specific when asking for consent. Do you want to scissor with me? It's a great way to ask. Okay. Oh, we have sexting. This is an interesting one. Sexting, you definitely need consent before you go and send dick pics to people, before you even introduce the topic of sex to somebody that you're messaging online, or I don't know if you're on FaceTime, whatever you're doing with your phone, if there's going to be a sexual connotation to that or there's sexual impulse.
Yeah, it's definitely really complicated because it can get complex when it's like with a partner that you've been with for a while and you think you really know them well. A lot of consent really relies on, especially when you've been in a relationship for a while, relies on the body language of the person and your relationship with them that's already existing. So you may think that you know that your partner's at home doing nothing, and you send them a text because you really think twice about it, but maybe they've just gotten bad news, or maybe they're just really not in the mood, and you've sent a text and it's really like thrown things off in your relationship.
Yeah, for sure. You definitely need to work out whether somebody is comfortable with doing this before you do it every time. It doesn't matter if you're in a long-term relationship or whether you've met this person once or twice.
Yeah, especially you don't want to get a dick pic while you're at work. Like, you always need to ask permission.
Yes, just to avoid embarrassment, if not anything else.
Giving head. So this means giving a blowjob or giving oral sex to a person that has a penis. Definitely something that not everyone is comfortable with, definitely needs to ask permission, get consent, and yeah, really make sure not everyone is into giving oral sex, or some people you may not be in the mood for that at that moment. It can really be an important part of a discussion. As you move through different sexual acts, you need to ask permission as you try and want to do new things.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, our last term is, it's my personal favourite, eating groceries. So
I didn't expect this one.
I had to include it. So eating groceries is a colloquial term for eating out someone's ass, basically. So it's licking the rim of someone's butthole and the surrounds to give them pleasure. It's similar to cunnilingus or fellatio. Very straightforward. You need to have consent to perform this on somebody. You cannot eat groceries without consent because it's a sexual act and it's very intimate, and you can't just perform that without asking.
Just like I mentioned before, as you try different sexual acts, you need to ask permission, even if it's something that you've done with a partner before. Maybe they're not in the mood for it today. As you change between sexual acts and try new things, always ask permission. Consent
is ongoing. Sex means many different things to different people. All of these things should feel good and fun when done between people who are consenting. You need to continuously ask for consent by saying things like, does this feel good? Can I continue? Are you okay?
Whether it's kissing or rainbow kissing, you always need to ask for consent when you want to do one of these sexual acts with somebody else.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video.
Bye.
Bye.